so I oversee the care of the horses. I'm joined today by Miss Brianna. She is one of our Western instructors. This is Nora. She is one of the horses here in the lesson program at Bar Park, and also Miss Bridgette. I have to give Bridgette a little shout out. She has just recently been accepted into the LSU School of Veterinary Medicine. So we have a future vet here on staff as an English instructor at Bar Park. So go Bridgette. So anyway, today we're going to talk a little bit about horse anatomy, some of the cool things that people generally find pretty amazing about horses. Horses have what they call hypsodont teeth, so that means they constantly erupt, meaning they're born with big, massive teeth that go way up into their jaw, and as they grow, they come down. So the best, or the only way that we really age a horse is by their teeth. So this mare, we know she's around 15 years old. So if I didn't know that, if I didn't know she was 15, I would come and take a look in her mouth, and this is if she wants to cooperate today. So you have to lift her little lips and look at her teeth. And I can look at the groove here on this tooth. I can look at the pitch of her teeth, the length of her teeth, and all of those things give me an indication as to how old they are. Obviously, once they get up in their 20s, which is a very senior horse, it makes it much more difficult to tell.
We'll just kind of start up by her head. Right in between her ears is the pole. And as you come back here, that ligament she was talking about, this whole area up here is the crest. And then here's the withers. This is where we judge where we put our saddle on them. You want to put your saddle right behind here with the withers. And then you just keep going down their back and you get to the loin, and that's like a sensitive spot on their back. And the hoof. And then you got the tail.
Another thing that's really cool about horses, everybody wants to think that the horse's spine goes straight down their neck here because they see this big hard spot, but this is actually a ligament that runs down their neck. Their spines come down here. So anytime you're giving a horse an injection, some sort of intramuscular injection for whatever reason, you have to make sure that you don't ever kind of try to penetrate down here. You want to stay up in this area of the muscle because you can actually poke them in the spine.
So this right here is their stifle. This could be compared to our knee. And as you go down, this is the hock. And this is just like our ankle bone here. And then this is the cannon bone. And that's like your metatarsals here. And here's the fetlock. And then you keep going down to the pastern. And there's two more bones down here in the hoof. The very bottom one is the coffin bone. And that would be like the very tip of your finger.
So yeah, it's pretty cool when you think about what bone, so the bone structure of a horse, a dog, is all the same as people. Obviously, they walk on 4 legs versus 2, and their bones are remarkably larger than ours, but very, very similar structure. So it kind of freaks everybody out when you talk about the fact that they're walking around on the bone that is the tip of our finger, but that is their coffin bone. So their stifle is a big high motion joint. They have a kneecap just like ours, and everybody always wants to say, oh, they're knees, but these are not knees, these are actual ankles. So it just kind of blows everybody's minds. Do a lot of very serious work here to make sure our horses stay sound. But to show you a little bit about the anatomy of a foot, so we talk a lot about the sole. This is this area here. You want the hoof wall nice and balanced. This frog, it's a softer part. It's kind of squishy. The health of this frog is very important. It actually acts as a pump. So when they strike the ground, the frog pushes, and that's actually what increases circulation in their legs. So it's like a little pump in their foot. So their whole foot flexes as they strike the ground. The frog makes contact and pushes blood up the leg. So just like in people, circulation is hugely, hugely important.
One of the best ways you can determine how a horse is feeling is by their ears. So if their ears are forward, that can mean as kind of a gray area. It can mean a lot of different things of what they're doing, but it can mean they're alert or they're happy or excited and engaged. If you're on their back and their ears are tipped back towards you, it typically means they're paying attention to you rather than what's in front of them. So when you're on them, you'd rather their ears be back a little bit rather than their attention diverted away from you. If one's forward and one's back, that means they're a little distracted. We're looking at something over here and something over there. If they're wiggling, they're trying to get a gauge of their surroundings. And then if they're pinned flat, way back and tense like this, it means they're angry or mad or upset about something. And a lot of the times, you can kind of see some of the similar facial expressions that you would see in a human on them at the same time too. So you'll kind of see that with a scowl or a little bit of a mean look in their eye, and that comes with just getting used to horses and knowing them over time. But they express emotion on their faces similarly to the way that we do.
You can watch for the whites of their eyes. Like if they're very alert,
Yeah.
their head is up, their ears are forward, and all of a sudden you can see the whites around their eyes. They're checking something out. Another way to tell, I mean, their tails. They're very expressive in their tails, whether they're swishing aggressively or up and alert. You know, one of my favorite things to see is when we turn them out to play and their tails shoot straight up in there and they go prancing across the pasture, you know. So their tails have a lot of expression as well. So thanks for joining us today here at Far Park. I know myself, but probably more so than even myself, these two girls are so excited, ready for everybody to come back and resume lessons. We miss everybody. Nora's probably even ready for some interaction with some of our kiddos. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing y'all soon.